I'm here with Saints head baseball coach Mike Davidson and assistant coach Austin King. Guys are heading into the Region 6 playoffs. We host the series against Neosho on this Wednesday, Thursday, and if necessary, Friday at Brent Gould Field. Game time is what time, Coach?
2 p.m.
2 p.m. and we each play 3 9-inning games. All right, Coach. Well, you guys had a really good season. Now you guys had some time off over there. How do you think that's going to affect you guys? Time off, is it going to be good, bad? How do you see it?
Well, I think one part is good. It let us kind of heal some guys up and give guys some breaks on the mound. But you can't substitute playing. Mm-hmm. You know, baseball is a game you got to play it. It's a game of repetition, and there's no way to substitute that. I mean, even though we kind of had some little inter squads and had to throw our pitchers and do that stuff, it's still not the same thing. It's not the going out and competing against somebody else. Mm-hmm. The last thing that you guys want to do is compete against each other at this time of the year. But it's something that has to be done. They've got to go out and do it, and they got to prepare. You know, we talk about it all the time. These kids all want to be professionals. They all want to do all these things. But one thing that professionals do, or guys that are really good at the four-year college, is they prepare. They're ready to go. They find a way to get themselves going. They find a way to get themselves in good spots. So hopefully we'll be ready to play, and we can get out of the chute and get game one and put the pressure on Neosho the rest of the way out.
The format's a little bit different. Instead of playing doubleheaders in 1-7, 1-9, you guys played 3 straight 9-inning games, Coach. You're basically the pitching coach. How do you think the pitchers will handle it? What's the mentality going into the games?
I don't think it changes too much. I mean, you still got to control the little things, control what we control. Mm-hmm. With first pitch strikes, getting leadoff outs, having second pitch for a strike. I don't think it changes too much. Mm-hmm. It kind of helps our bullpen out because we get to add a starter to the bullpen. But no, I don't think it changes too much for them. It's still baseball. Still got pitch.
Right. Do you think that there's advantages for Brian Luna, who's on number 1, usually goes 7 out over there, and then you have 8 and more going usually plays second, which is 9. Any kind of differences between those two? Do you think?
Difference
in terms of like going distance or such, you know, like your mentality going, well, I don't have to go 7, in terms like I go 9 or whatever.
I don't think you think too much about trying to get complete games, trying to go 9 innings all the time. It's how hard can you go for as long as you can go. If that's 5 innings, it's 5 innings. If it's 9 innings, it's 9 innings. Just compete your butt off for as long as you can, and we'll see where it goes.
All right. Coach Davidson, mentality of the team so far. They've been pretty focused going in, have, graduations, a lot been going on. And so you kind of, I guess the thing is that you always worry about a little bit of focus. Or are they basically, well, we've got all this stuff, now we're ready to play and chopping it a bit. What is it with those guys?
Yeah, I think they're ready to play. I mean, I think they know what's at stake. I mean, it's a pretty loose group. They're not they're having fun with it. It hasn't been a pressure-packed deal. We've been able to spread practice out, and even today we've got to practice a different time because of finals and make that stuff work. But they've been pretty flexible. And again, at this time of the year, you're not trying to reinvent the game. You're not trying to start over. You're just trying to stay sharp. Get in, get your work done, get out. And then those who are going to play are going to play come game time when the lights come on, and those who won't, and we'll be going home. It's up to them. The ball's in their court, and us as a coaching staff are going to make a couple of decisions here or there, put on a couple of plays, and other than that, they've got to go out and do their job.
Right. Coach King, one of the things is that we know that you guys have pretty solid starters out over the bullpen. A little bit kind of questionable at times out over there. What's the focus going in for that and trying to get that bullpen to make sure that they can close games?
Yeah, the bullpen-wise, we've had some guys step up, but it just hasn't been consistent enough for us, I think. One guy step up one week, and then the next week he kind of falters, but usually someone else will step up in his place. My hope is they're all been waiting for the playoffs to put it all together at the same time, all of them to step up together. But I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I think our guys, they've worked well the past 2 weeks. And one thing about them is they compete. They are competitors. they try not to leave anything on the field. Sometimes they wear it on their sleeve a little too much, but they care and they want to win. And at the end of the day, that's what you can ask for.
All right. And actually, I'm going to guess that you said that you're going to end up putting one of the starters back in the bullpen, right? I'm going to guess that that's Herrera.
For right now, yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
we'll see what happens if game 3. We'll see. But yeah, right now we're gonna go Luna and Moore, game 1 and 2.
then whoever goes.
Yeah, game 3 we'll see who's available and go from there.
Coach, talk a little bit about this season. It's been a nice little bounce back season. We talked about last year, and then this year we had a whole bunch of sophomores. Team sort of started a little bit rocky, but then sort of found itself and has really basically poured it on. They've got a lot of hitting, good pitching at times. Biggest bugaboo I would say is probably defense, mental, and probably the bullpen a little bit. What did you see this season?
Well, I think we've grown a lot over the course. I mean, we were trying to figure out who we were, what our identity was early on, and we kind of settled in offensively that we were going to be able to swing the bat, and be able to score some runs. So the biggest thing behind that was then trying to work out game 3 and 4 starters. I think game 1 and 2 guys have been pretty good for us most of the year. Like I said, Aiden struggled at times early when he was trying to punch a lot of guys out, and when he pitches to contact and when he throws a changeup for strikes, makes people hit the changeup, he's good. His stuff plays. We had Gerber in the 3-hole, and he bounced in there and threw a couple of games pretty good for us, and then kind of lost his way, and then we slid another guy in there, and he kind of lost his way, and so Curtis was not very good early, but has been pretty good down the stretch of giving us an opportunity.
Right.
We've never thought Curtis was going to be a game 1 punch out 20 guys and hold everybody down to 1 run, but he's a good game 4 guy because he usually keeps us in the game for 5 or 6 innings, and then that's really kind of all you can ask for. So the biggest disappointment has just been trying to figure out defensively where we're at. We thought Baffle was going to be our guy at shortstop, and then he gets hurt, and we tried Tucker, and Tucker couldn't make the plays, didn't play catch, and things like that. So it was kind of crazy. We never thought Cameron would be our shortstop at this time, but it's worked out that way. It's just been we just kind of had to find our way, through trial and error, putting different people out there. And usually that's what the whole fall's for. But we thought leaving the fall we would be playing totally different, and we're playing totally different the other way. So, but it's worked out, and we've it's a good group of kids. They want to win. Like I said, they can get punched in the mouth and they'll bounce back. They're not scared, and that's the part I like is they're not going to run away. They're pretty resilient. So, and that's a positive thing going to the playoffs because crazy things happen. We could give up 5 runs in the first inning or kick 5 balls. I mean, you just don't know in the playoffs. Things happen. And so you've got to be resilient and not push the panic button. And that's the biggest thing I'm worried about right now is just us not playing. If those guys just getting settled into the game and hopefully our starting pitching will let us get settled into the game, and then we'll be okay. Get past the first couple of innings, and we'll be back to normal.
Yeah, I mean, this is a sophomore-heavy team, and pretty much. But you hope that brings up a little bit more leadership, a little bit more maturity on that team, and you also hope that like we said before, is that defense and getting past that one era and going forth and not using this word, I hate to use this, but not to choke, not to go over there and sort of give it up. But I think that this team, if they can play within themselves, you got the hitting, you've got the pitching, just don't beat yourself. I'm sure that's something that you guys preach all the time. Don't beat yourself.
Yeah.
If they go over there and they hit the home run, or if you make a great pitch and they groove one, that's fine. You can live with that, but you can't live with them like, oh, okay, I just threw a meatball up, or it just went through my legs, or I rushed.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. We were talking about that yesterday at practice. Just, we can prepare them all they want. We can talk about all the different scenarios. We can practice all these schemes and do whatever, but the game of baseball demands that you play it.
Right.
And when it happens, it happens. You have to be prepared for it. And the biggest thing is take care of the baseball. If you just take care of the baseball and get it out, you're okay.
Right.
You know, double play ball, it's a bonus if you get the second one. Get one out.
Right.
Baseball demands that when you have an opportunity to get it out, you gotta get it out.
Right.
And if you don't, boy, she makes you pay for it every time.
Right.
It's just how the game is played, and that's just how it is. So hopefully we'll take care of the baseball and we'll be okay. And, you know, Brian gives us a great opportunity. Our kids feel really, really confident behind Brian. So that's a bonus going in too, when everybody feels like your starting pitcher's got a chance to beat anybody in the country.
All right. Talk a little bit about Brian, actually. You know, freshman, tremendous year. No hitters start off the season and just sort of goes from there. You know, Coach always talks about 2 pitches going in. If he has 2, you know, he's probably, you know, you guys are cruising. But he usually gets by a lot of times if he can't find it with his fastball. What do you see in him?
A lot of potential. I mean, this kid, he's a very good left-handed arm, and to me, he hasn't even scratched the surface on what he could be. His breaking ball could get way better. His changeup's coming along nicely, but he has a chance to get better. I mean, against Pratt last week, 2 weeks ago, he pretty much just dominated with the fastball. He didn't have a second pitch, but he gave up one bad pitch. It was a home run. Other than that, he dominated him with the fastball. And kind of speaks to how good his fastball is, for one. But 2, I mean, he's got a bright future ahead of him if he keeps his head on right and works hard. But I mean, we're excited to have him, and he's just a good dude, man.
And what about Aiden?
Aiden's he's come a long way from he wouldn't be shy to say it either. He had a rocky start his freshman year, but he worked really hard this summer and in the fall on some things, and that work's showing off. It's paying off for him. He's come a long way from an 83, 84 guy to an 88, 90 guy now, and he's always had a decent changeup. But the slider's gotten really better for him, and his command's gotten way better. He used to not have any idea where the fastball's going. Now he can pretty much dial it up where he wants. He's come a long way, and he's one I'm really proud of. But he's a kid that worked for it, and he earned what he got. He's a good testament to what hard work can do. And he's a good kid. He's a little goofy sometimes, man, but that's good to have in the dugout. A little goofiness.
Keeps it loose.
Yes, yeah.
Coach, okay, so talk a little bit about Neosho. They're coming off, you know, you guys have been, like I said, on a bye week, so therefore you haven't played a little bit. They've just come off of naturally. They've won 3 of their last 4, 3 in a row. What do you expect from them?
Well, I think they'll be the same Neosho they always have. You know, Murray's been there for 30-something years. They usually try to hit. They usually try to hit the ball. They're going to try to elevate the baseball. They're going to try to ambush the fastball. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like they really run or do much, you know, that way. I think they just play you straight up.
Right.
So, you know, calling around and talking around, that's kind of what everybody has said.
Right.
Their number 1's really good.
I was going to say that. Do you know much about him?
He's the Pakia or Pashia or however they say it. He's a big right-handed kid that's been up to 94, 95. He's got a good arm. It's fastball slider.
And that's Dak Sharp?
No, that's the right-handed kid. Sharp is the left-handed kid. He'll go game 2.
Okay.
The Pasha or Pakia or whatever, however they say it, is game 1 guy.
Okay.
He's like 6'3", but they say he's really quick to the plate, like 1-1, 1-2. But they say you can still run on him. Catchers are just okay, but he does the same thing every time. He's kind of like a robot, so you can time him up. And talking to Coffeyville and some other people, they stole third 4 or 5 times on him, and just because he does the same thing over and over.
Right.
But we'll have our work cut out for us. Everybody's got game 1 guy.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Game 1 is game 1, and everybody's got to handle that situation. And then they got a couple guys in the pen that they really like and they go to a lot. And so do we. So, game one is matchup of matchup, and who doesn't beat themselves. And
That's right.
that's just how it's going to be. And then game 2 and 3 will kind of sort out after that. We don't want to get to game 3, but if we have to, I think we're in a better spot in game 3 than they are.
Sure.
Offensively with numbers and things like that. But hitting comes and goes, and
Right.
that's the thing. Pitching can good pitching will beat good hitting.
Hitting right all the time.
All the time. So, we just hope that our kids show up and compete and give us an opportunity to win a game.
Right. Okay, so again, the Saints will play Neosho on Wednesday, Thursday, and if necessary, Friday. Games are at 2 p.m. at Brent Gould Field, and they're 9-inning games. So, guys, good luck, and best. I'm sure that we'll do great out there, right?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.